Good afternoon, Robert Scribbler here with a special surf equipment review of some cold water items that I've been using. And this is a special edition of the OBX Wave Report here. Right here up in my little surf prep room, and I've got these sweet little, these sweet gloves here. These are Xuker cold water gloves. They're 3.5 millimeters, and I've been wearing them out here in the surf over at the Outer Banks in say about 46 to 52 degree water. And I'm going to go ahead and review these things for use out there in the cold water. And my experience is these are fantastic gloves. They are excellent. I did some research on them, and I'm glad I did. These are the ones designed for surfing. They provide a lot of mobility, a lot of grip, a lot of feel. They've got some tacky material on the top and on the bottom. I think it's more for look than for actual utility. The main thing is that the shape and design of the gloves is very flexible and allows for like a strong grip. There's not much hindrance in mobility at all. I don't really feel the gloves much when they're on, other than the fact that they're keeping my hands warm in the cold water. I don't get a lot of water intrusion into the gloves. There's some, but not a lot. There's not like, I don't get this feeling of like puddling in the gloves or anything like that. And they work very well. They seem to be very durable. I've used them about 5 times now in the cold water out here in the Outer Banks, and have had no issues. And the main issue, of course, for me is, I want to be able to grip the board, and I want to have good hand paddle strength. And for both of these, it's very solid. It's easy, very easy to grip the board with these things. In fact, I kind of feel like I'm gripping the board better with these gloves than I am with my regular hands, which is saying something. Now, I've got pretty big hands. I mean, I'm not huge. I'm about 5'10", but I've got pretty broad frame, pretty big wrist, big hands, relatively large bone structure. I got the extra large size of these. I think they run a little small, so if you do get them, maybe go up one size category when you do get them. That's what I did, and these fit perfect for me. I've got no slip, I've got good grip, and they're very effective, excellent surf gloves. Like off the top of my head, I'm not sure if I can think of a way that these gloves could improve. I don't know, maybe some added durability on the tacky material here on the outside of the glove, which seems to be just kind of a light coating that seems like it could come off relatively easily, but that's mostly kind of a superficial critique. The look and feel of the gloves is great. These are really good gloves. I don't know. I mean, I do a lot of climate change and clean energy related appeals for coastal defense through my main videos, and I haven't spoken about this with regards to the O'Neill Psycho Hood or the O'Neill booties that I recently reviewed, but just a general shout out to those who make gear for surfing. At least from my point of view, getting into the more sustainable methods is a big deal. I know that the primary driver of climate change is fossil fuel burning, but that materials do have an influence as well, and a lot of materials that come from synthetics are made with fossil fuels, which kind of goes into the whole chain of climate crisis that we're experiencing now. But the main driver being the burning of fossil fuels, not the materials. But a big seller for me, being coastal defense minded, will also be like more sustainable development of materials for gloves and things like that. And I think in the future, what I'm going to do, I know there are some companies out there that work on sustainable wet gear for surfing, cold water gear for surfing. So I'm going to go ahead and at some point I'm going to start doing reviews on those as well. But for the utility and the use and the grippiness and the feel and the warmth, I highly recommend these Xuker gloves. I would say 9 out of 10. So great job, everyone over at Xuker. Thank you for helping me as a, I'm 50, so I need the extra warmth out there, especially in the cold water. And this is helping give me the warmth and durability to get out there and charge the waves and get myself back up to the level of surfing that I want to get to. I feel like I'm getting this awesome second lease on life, and in addition to it all, getting out in the cold water is, I mean, I did that stuff when I was rather young, you know, like in my teens and into the 20s up in Virginia Beach. And after a while, I was like, oh, that's crazy. That's like for young dudes. But, you know, in all honesty, you know, with the cold water gear now, it's very liberating. I'm getting into, you know, upper 40 degree, lower 50 degree water temperature, or cold days, you know, where you get in the duck dives and get the ice cream headaches. And you know what? I'm doing it with a 2-3 millimeter wetsuit, which is freaking nuts, and just some peripherals. So I haven't even upgraded my wetsuit, and these nice gloves are helping keep me warm in a 2-3 millimeter wetsuit, along with the booties and the Psycho hood. So props to the Xuker folks out there. Fantastic gloves for grip, a little bit in the small range, so I guess I can add that as a critique. If you're going to get the Xuker gloves, maybe bump it up one size category to get a good fit and feel. I did that. There were some reviews out on the interwebs that suggested that as well, so thanks to those of you who did already review the Xuker gloves and gave kind of a similar feedback, which ended up being spot on. So thank you for joining me for this product review version, a surf gear review version of the OBX Wave Report. And we're going to get on down to the beaches later today for a little bit of a Valentine's Day observation. And I've got a GoPro and some peripheral gear for the GoPro on the way. It's supposed to arrive in the next 24 to 48 hours. So we're going to get a little shift in the way we do the wave report. I'm going to take the wave report out to the beach and get into the water. I have really enjoyed doing the weather and climate related side of the wave report. So I think what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to shift that section of the wave report to a after action kind of review of waves, and then we'll go into the weather and climate in the after action. But we're going to shift more to getting into the water in the mornings and doing the wave report in the mornings directly from the beaches, and then uploading that when we get back. And then the next step is figuring out how I can do the live stream from the beaches, and that's going to be a little bit more complex, but that's my plan so far for leveling up the OBX Wave Report. So, all right, so my review of the Xuker gloves, fantastic gloves, 9 out of 10. I don't know if I'm giving anything a 10 out of 10 yet. I'm waiting to see if there's anything like, it's hard to give a 10 out of 10 for me. I want to give like some room for improvement, because there's always room for improvement. And a 10 out of 10 would mean like I can't find any room for improvement. And but I challenge you, guys who put together the surf gear, to go for it. I mean, hey, you know, there's maybe the perfect gloves, perfect booties, perfect hoods out there. And, you know, we're always improving. We're always trying to do the next thing. So, all right, thanks for joining me. Check out the Xuker gloves, great gloves, and I will be back with you shortly.